All right, guys, I'm gonna get you a little update on the Blue Devil transmission sealer uh, that I put in the '89 Ford Ranger GT, and it's been 2 months. It's been 2 months, so this is a 2 month update. A lot of people do these videos, and then they neglect to come back and do updates. So I wanted to be sure to come back and do an update. I did a short update a week or so after I put the transmission sealer in there, and I got a video prior to that talking about what the issues were with the transmission, what the mechanic shop said, and so forth. So you go back and watch that video. And then there's a video of when I added the Blue Devil transmission sealer in the truck. So there's a video of that. It's got about almost 800 views, which is good for my little small channel here. So go take a look at that. But this is a 2 month update, and in my mind, I'm going to say it's done very, very well. Now, I don't know if I said this in the previous videos or not, but I got the idea to use the Blue Devil product. I watch a YouTube channel called Auto Auction Rebuilds. A guy named Randy on there. I'm not going to say he really rebuilds anything. He does do a lot of mechanical work, but he goes out to Copart, does walk-arounds, and buys cars at Copart and stuff like that, and buys them from different auctions. And a lot of times he'll do a little bit of fixing up, repairing, cleaning on them, and then flip them. And he does do quite a bit of mechanical work. I have to say that, and he's pretty good. But he's used. I've seen him on his channel in the past. I've been watching it for several years, and I've seen him use the Blue Devil sealer products a few different times. And by the way, guys, the Valvoline brake fluid is just here because I had to add a little brake fluid to the truck. I know it's 35 years old, so it's got some leaks, so no surprise there. But he's used this Blue Devil. I don't think I've seen him use the transmission sealer, but I know he's used the head gasket sealer a few times, and from what I've seen on his channel, excuse me, guys, it always worked very well for him. So that's where I got the idea for the Blue Devil. And I have to say, as far as the transmission sealer, I think it's done a really good job. Like I said, guys, my mechanic told me this transmission was leaking in about 3 different places, and it was definitely leaving some puddles out here. So in the last 2 months, I have drove it quite a bit. Like I said before, guys, I don't drive them a whole lot, but I've driven it several times over the last 2 months. As a matter of fact, just the other day, I drove it about 50 miles or so round trip to an car audio shop where I'm going to have some tunes installed in this thing. I got a couple videos coming on that as well. About to have a cat fight over here. That little kitten there, the young one, I kept hearing him meowing, and he had got locked in that little building over there. I guess about 2 days ago, I was out here and had the door open for a few minutes, and he must have got in there. And luckily, I heard him and got him out of there. So he come and run straight over to the food bowl over here. He was about to starve after 2 days of being locked in that building. But anyway, I rescued him. So these are all stray cats that have come up here, and I put a little food out for them and water and stuff. But that one there, he'll come up to us, and there's another one around here somewhere that'll come up to us. But that's about it. And they're all giving that one a fit for some reason, because he's been locked up for a couple of days. So now when he runs up to them, they're growling at him, giving him a fit. But that's my ADHD guys about the cats. But back on the Blue Devil. So yeah, Auto Auction Rebuilds used it, the head gasket sealer, a few different times I've seen on his channel, and it worked very well. So I put it in here. Like I said, guys, there's a good video on that 2 months or so ago. And I drove it the other day to the audio shop and back, about 50 miles round trip. And I brought it back home, and I pulled it in the driveway here, kind of at an angle, and let it set out here for, I don't know, a couple hours before I pulled it back in the carport. And when I moved it in, guys, I didn't have there are no fresh oil spots anywhere, or any fresh fluid spots anywhere on the ground out here. So that's a plus. Now what I'm going to do is, now it's been in the carport for a couple days. I'm going to back it out real quick, guys, so they'll get out of the way. I'm gonna back it out real quick and just look underneath it and see what kind of leakage we got going on underneath it. But as far as I'm concerned, the Blue Devil has done a pretty good job. And like I said before, guys, I know these are not, these are just temporary fixes. I will have to at some point address the transmission issue. But let's crank it up and we'll back it up and see. Let's let that fuel pump prime up just a second. This truck, I've said it before, guys, in previous videos, this thing fires up better than most new vehicles I've owned. I'm telling you. So, I put that brake fluid in here the other day. My brake pedal's always a little bit low. I had some brake work done on it a couple years ago. My brake pedal, it didn't really bleed it that good, I don't think. So my pedal's been low, but she will stop. She will stop. So, all right, guys, that's far enough. I'm just going to walk up here and check and see, what we have on the ground as far as fluid leakage. You can obviously see where it has leaked in the past, but there's really no fresh fluid leaking, guys. So I'm going to have to say it's a win for the Blue Devil transmission sealer, guys. You see right there, there are no fresh puddles of any type of fluid under there. So I'm going to have to say it's a win-win for the Blue Devil transmission sealer, and I hope it holds up quite a bit longer, to be honest. I did take this truck in the other day to our local Valvoline oil change place and had the oil changed in it. And I typically, of course, got the 89 GT, the 88 GT, we got the 94 Dodge Ram, and then way over there we got the 2003 Buick Park Avenue. It's got an alternator issue that's going to have to be addressed. And we got the 2023 F-150 work truck back there. That's a company truck. So I got a lot of vehicles crammed in here, guys. But I keep these Rangers under the carport because the door seals and stuff, they do tend to get some water in there if it rains or something every so often. So, but yeah, I had the oil change, guys, and in the notes, the oil change place, there's a little section where they can put in some notes, and they put in there that it did have some oil leakage, which doesn't surprise me, guys. It's a 35-year-old truck. It's a little disheartening to know that it's still dripping oil because I put a lot of money. I say a lot. To me, it's a lot. I put a couple $1,000s into, all the replacing all the top end gaskets and everything on the engine, and then we did the rear main seal in it as well. But it is what it is, guys. It's 35 years old, so most of your 3-year-old cars are probably going to be leaking something. So, but anyway, guys, the update on the Blue Devil transmission sealer is that I'm very well pleased with it. You see the results. It's been 2 months. You can go back and look at previous videos. I showed where it was leaking, and you can clearly see the puddles. I even put I did one video where I put some white poster board under the truck where you could see the fluid color and see what was leaking under it. So you could obviously see it was definitely leaking at that time. But here I am 2 months into it, and I'm not getting any leakage anymore. Like I said, guys, I know that's not a permanent fix, and it may start back up leaking again. But, that's bought me some time. I don't drive these trucks a lot, so there you have it. Blue Devil transmission sealer update. 2 months into it, and I'm not having really any fluid leakage at all. All right, guys, we'll catch you on the next one.